Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Okay. I was like, look, I'm either going to cancel my Monday live or we're going to have to get into the Netflix reality, what's called reality check. Inside America's Next Top Model, the documentary, because I was like, child, ain't nothing else going on today. And I was away all weekend. Okay, so I said, no, girl, go ahead around here and just do this thing real fast and let it be there. Okay, I had no plan to watch this today, but when Missy was like, girl, did you watch it? I said, no, I'm gonna watch it later. I said, go ahead and cut it on. I cut it on. I was like, oh, on 3 episodes, I can have it playing in the background. And I said, girl, no, have a conversation. Now, y'all may get mad at me for my opinion, but I can't. It's a quick little chit chat. We won't be here for long. Okay, make sure to like the video, okay, subscribe to the channel, comment in the comment section and whatnot. Look, I'm here. Okay, I did not feel like put the lipstick on or whatever. I said, no, just go ahead and get into this stuff right here. Okay, Tyra and them. Now, hello to those who are here. Okay, whether you're watching live or the replay, hello to you. Okay, yes, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Hello. Again, we not gonna be here long. Okay, now first things first. Okay, I had to make a little graphic thing. Okay, because I felt like we have to have it's a 2-piece conversation. We're getting right into it. Okay. I am 44 years old. Okay. And this came out, I think it was like in 2002. I was 20. Let me see, the America's Next Top Model, season 1. Yeah, well, no, 2003 it says. 2003. Season 1, episode 1, 2000. I was 21. Okay, I was 20. I was legally grown around here, probably in these streets. Having a good time, child. And one thing I would say, this documentary should have been more than 3 episodes. I was like, is it a part 1 or part 2? Like Bridgerton? I was confused on if I was missing something, if there was another part to see it, I wasn't sure. Okay. That's part one. Okay, my thing. Part two of my conversation, my brain thinking, what aggravated me the most about this entire, ANTM, Tyra's the villain and bad Tyra. Oh, we hate her. Is I do not like the fact everyone is blaming solely Tyra Banks. That's what aggravates me the most because watching that show, everybody from Tyra to Miss J, Mr. J, Nigel, Janice, Kamora Lee Simmons, okay, all of the guest judges, anyone who put everything. Ken Mock. If y'all gonna blame anybody, you can't leave him off. You can't. If Diddy invites you to a party, you say no. You also can't not blame Ken Mock. He had his hand. When Tyra said, I had an idea, and I had to go get someone to help me get my idea to the masses, Ken was the one she went to. So to everybody who I see on the social medias, we had Tyra. Tyra was horrible. She blah. You will never get me to solely blame the one black woman of a show as the culprit, 23 years later, as if, she was around there. Like, yeah, I'm going to ball them bitches. I'm going to put them in blackface. I'm going to starve them to death. I refuse to solely blame Tyra. Okay, everyone played a part. Miss J and Mr. J said horrible things about them girls. Miss J was the one on set when Kenya told that man, I feel uncomfortable, and he ignored her. Okay, Nigel was the one that said when Kenya said at the panel, hey, I felt uncomfortable. Nigel said, oh, well, you got this right. Girl, miss me with the bullshit, okay? Now look, because I'm trying to get all my thoughts out, I see y'all comments, but I don't want to get distracted, okay? But hello to everyone here, okay? Hi to the people. This is solely us discussing the top model thing. Isn't there doing another documentary? I don't know. If they do, I guess I'll see it. No, Eva was not in this at all. Eva was not. The only people, so these are the models who was, I think I got them all. That is Whitney, who was the first, I think, and only plus size model to win, and she was a size 6 or something when she won. Okay, Danny, who was the gap tooth thing. What's the girl next? I think her name was Shannon. The girl in the pink. I think her name was Shannon, but I can't remember. Okay, Ebony, who was the beautiful, bald woman. I think she was on season 2. Okay, you then had Shandy, who was the whole child Shandy, who was an extremely thin white woman back in the day. I did not recognize her here based on how she looked on the show. However, Shandy is the one who, at the time, it was the girl cheated on her boyfriend, and now she's saying she was SA'd, blacked out drunk when she sat with that man over there in Milan. Okay. We have Kenya. I don't remember the girl next to Kenya, but she was the first like Latina or something, or maybe Mexican lady on season 1. Okay. We had Bree and then Dion. Okay. And then I forgot the girl name. Was it Carrie? Carrie had fucked up teeth, and they pulled like both girl the dentist people. Okay, so those were the only actual contestants who they had on here. Now they showed clips of girls from the show. But those were the now I kept on saying, bitch, where's Yaya DaCosta? Where's the Karla? Okay. Because there were 24 seasons of this show. And they could have covered way, way, way more. And I can say I have not watched the show in years, but I watched the show in real time. And I think because Tyra brought up not the only reason, but the reason why there was this resurgence of the show was because when COVID happened, everyone was at home binge watching old shows. You couldn't go nowhere. So people started binge watching the show, but people who ain't my age, okay, the new, more sensitive people, okay, started watching and said, oh, we hate Tyra. Tyra was horrible. Tyra. Now, I will say, in life, everything in hindsight is a completely different thing. Okay? In hindsight, I would never suggest to being a 21-year-old woman and car hopping with strangers and going home with AJ, the correctional officer who you met on night one. I would never suggest that in 2026. However, back in 2002, Jaylee met AJ at the store on 7 Mile and Conant. You know what I'm saying? And Jaylee got out the car with Rain, her home girl, and got in the car with AJ and went home with AJ. And thank God she didn't get murdered. In hindsight, I would never think that was wise to do. Okay. Tyra, in 2002, when it, I think, was filmed, started to be filmed, some of the ideas were, hey, I want to do a show about models. Okay. We know the industry only likes stick thin, size 0 white women. Okay. Or you could be black, but it had to be very, very skinny. Okay. Those were the dynamics of the modeling world. So Tyra said, hey, I want to combine, the real world and American Idol. Okay, you follow these people because on American Idol they all want to be singers. They want to sing, want to group, star, all that. Okay, but let's follow the modeling people. And truthfully, the show was a genius show. It was a genius show. However, I think once the show was recorded, when Jay said that first season, the season 1 was fully filmed in a hotel, how they had the girls in one suite, they had the panel in another suite. Okay. It was a grassroots idea of, hey, let's see what happens. And even seeing some of the girls say, I thought it was about modeling. And then the show airs and you see the other girls being mean bitches. I can't stand her. She's ugly. She's fat. She's too skinny and blah, 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 blah. And production was posting, was recording all the crazy shit. So to me, season 1 was probably the most organic season for what Tyra wanted. But bitch, by season 15, hell, by season 8 and 9 and 10, the world had changed. You know, there's always a pitfall when you are the first of something. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have, like, now you know exactly what you're getting yourself into if you go on any kind of reality show. Back 20 years ago, you didn't know. You had no idea what it meant. Again, these I was like, how old was Tyra? Let me see, how old? No, when was Tyra? I was how old she was back then. Tyra was born in 1973. Okay, so in 2002, she was 29. She was a 29-year-old model who had no TV directing, production, producing, talent. Tyra ain't no shit. Them girls, the girl, the model, they ain't no shit either. It was 18, 19, 20. I think the oldest maybe been 24 or whatnot. No one knew nothing about nothing. And everybody around there who don't know nothing about nothing trying to make a way. Tyra wanted a show. The girl wanted a mile. It was a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay. That's my one point on it. Now, Tyra said she went to Ken. Hey, Ken, let's have this show. That they had to get, the staff. Okay. They hired Miss J, who is the blonde haired man up there. Miss J, who was the walker. Okay. Round them people got to walk. And they had to pitch the show to all the networks. Everyone said no. Okay. Until UPN. I remember UPN. She said UPN was the last ditch chance at hoping the show can get picked up. And the white lady right there in the middle, okay, at that time was over UPN. She said, well, yeah. So when everyone wants to blame Tyra, I'm like, it was Tyra, it was Ken, and that white lady, whose name I don't know. Okay, so let's not keep saying Tyra. As she said, I had bosses too, bitch. So it just aggravates me when everyone want to say, oh no, Tyra did it. It was all her. Okay. So that was the part that made me aggravated. And again, in the three parts of it, part one was really just about getting the show off the air, on the air, hiring the people to do it and all that stuff. Season one, Adrian won. Now, Adrian, who won season one, child, she was different. And she was real different or whatever. I'm surprised I think Adrian said she had no need to come on here and then, talk shit. I want to say this as well. Some of the things that happened on that show, looking back, is completely insane. When they showed the photo shoot they did with all the girls played some kind of dead person. Oh, this person got their organs taken. That person was shot in the head. That person was put. That was crazy. And Ken said, yeah, that was I should have never had them pose dead bodies. That was a bit morbid. Okay, cool. The whole changing the people's, races. That was crazy. You can't do blackface. Some of the runways, which were dangerous, was crazy. The girls were saying how they weren't eating much. How they felt body shamed, and all of that. So I'm like, all of that, it was crazy. Janice was not in this documentary or whatever, but to me, Janice was the worst of the worst as a judge. Janice was Simon Cowell on crack. Okay. Janice Dickinson was a evil, mean-spirited, rude white bitch on crack. And we said that then. Okay. We didn't have to wait 30 years to figure out that Janice wasn't shit. Okay. Um, as I recall. As I recall. Now, to me, watching the show, I want to say, I know once they brought men on the show, it was stupid. Um, I want to say after maybe like season like 10, 15, the show changed. Mainly because TV changed. Reality shows changed. If y'all recall Love and Hip Hop, the Love and Hip Hop shows, season one was very, very organic. By the time you got to season 10, it was a completely different show. To me, Top Model turned into a show about the drama of the girls, of the judges, shady, critiques. When Whitney, hold on, Whitney, who was the first plus size winner, when Whitney, and before Whitney, but you had the Karla. Okay, the Karla was on the season before Whitney, and when Whitney said, "I came on the show a size 6," and was looked at as plus size. And she said the Karla was on the season before me. And the Karla would show how they just would not have clothes to fit her. They could have easily got clothes to fit her, but they purposefully did not because it was, the way to make shit be a little bit shady, whatever. And she was like, going on go sees, going to these fittings and them having to, cut the back of a dress because they want to make you feel fat. Even though, bitch, they weren't fat. She was a size 6. And them showing them at go sees and the lady saying to Whitney was a size 6. Well, you're in a size 10 for our brand. And we would never put a size 10 on the runway. That wasn't Tyra saying that. That was the goddamn designers. So a lot of folk ignore the time when Tyra was at least trying to say, I like so-and-so. Let's not be mean and bloppy, 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 blue. So was Tyra a complete mean bitch all the time? No. She wasn't, but people are blaming her because she was the face of the show. So the buck does lie within her, but also the other people. Okay, when Kenya, okay, who is the bottom left with a little red tie, when Kenya was on her season, they kept telling her how she was gaining weight, and she wasn't. She just wasn't, extremely thin. She had a itty bitty, itty bitty meat on her bones, and she was like, they would make it seem as if I was fat. And when someone said, based on those standards in the modeling world, she was. And I'm like, well, that don't make it right, bitch. That don't make it right, okay? And then even when the girl, hold on, when they showed them getting their teeth, and Dan, let's go Dan, let's start with Danny. Danny right there with the, she's second at the top. Okay, black girl with the braids lock, okay? Danny was on, but I don't remember what season she was on. Danny was the girl who had a gap. She had a gap in her tooth, and they wanted her to close the gap. So back then on the show, yeah, she was, and I like my gap. I don't want to get rid of it. And then when Tyra said no one wanted to book her, we're having conversations with folks. No one wants to book a gap tooth model. So it was filling the gap. You know what I'm saying? Or go home. Now, to me, I'm going home. But then the girls wanted to win. So I think the only issue I have is now some of the girls who made decisions back then are regretting what they felt pressure to do, even though in the moment of it they didn't feel pressure. They just thought, I make a decision because I want this contract, I want this deal. And so back then when she said, I went and called my mama said, well, if you don't do it, you're gonna go home. And is it worth it? And she said, I'm going to fill my gap in because nothing's gonna stop me from blah 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 blah. The issue I have, hold on, the issue I have for the girls, the issue I have with Danny in today's world is Danny's pissed because Tyra did not help her more than. So everything that she now regrets as an adult, looking back at her life, she's blaming it on Tyra, in my opinion. Even though at the time she said, I'm gonna do it. Even her saying in pre-production, my brother said, hey, go do the show. And I knew I didn't want to do the show. It was fake, blah, 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 blah. But she went and did this fucking show. Did she win her season? I feel like she won her season. And so to me, I think it's like buyer's remorse. You decided to do something. And now that what you thought was worth it, it wasn't worth it. Because you didn't get what you thought you should get at the end of the day. And I feel like we've watched, 18,000 seasons. Not we've watched, I used to watch, I don't watch anymore. We used to watch the, American Idol, all these shows, hell, Star Search, American Idol, all these shows that people go on to become a star. And we only know Child Fantasia, Kelly Clarkson, Jennifer Hudson, maybe Ruben Studdard, Clay Aiken. There's a handful of people who was on. Was it Adam Lambert who was around there? A couple of white folks too. You know what I'm saying? Daughtry. There's a few people who were on these shows that thought it's my big break. And they are nothing. I don't know not one person who won Star Search today. I don't know not one. So my point is, people go on these shows hoping that it's their big break, and it doesn't happen. I think for this show, Tyra and them said, hey, come on here, America's Next Top Model. You'll get a contract with Amina and blah, blah, blah. And when Ken said the point of this show was at the end of the season, one girl wins, and she has this. I think it was it maybe I think it was $200,000 contract in these things. It's a step up to help you, hopefully, become a model. And I think for most of the girls where that did not happen, they were pissed. Danny was one, and how I know one girl said, it may have been who said it. I can't think who it was, but someone was like, because I was on the show, most agencies didn't want to work with me. They didn't want the show overpowered or they didn't want the show taken away from their brand. So yes, I was on this big old show, cool. But if I'm Christian Louboutin, okay, if I'm Dior, if I am Chanel, I don't want the whole talk being this reality show and not my brand, my show. So some girls who won or did not win and thought they could be like, well, hey, I was on a show that hindered them. I think Danny was a person who was hindered because she was on the show. And when she said, Tyra, or a year later, I could have helped you, but I rode the fence. there were doors I knew you would not be able to get into from being on the show, and I didn't help you, and I felt like, and I'm telling y'all, look, I'm not trying to be against any of their experiences. They fully went through. They went through. I also question the fact of, if you go on this show, do we all feel like Tyra and them, okay, should have then took it upon themselves to help each girl every season? Or do you feel like you were on the show aired, now that is us helping you. Now it's your turn to go and cross some T's and dot some I's. I don't feel like, if you won the show, won the cash, won the contract, that you still want them to hold your hand to make you a top model. Now, when Danny said when she went to Wilhelmina, they were kind of cold to her. They felt like we have to have her go through more trials and tribulations, because why, she already has a hand up from the show. So we're not going to push her like we push anybody else. Now that could have been because she was white. I mean, she was black. Just saying. Oh, the girl up top in the glasses. Let me show y'all. Hold on. That's Shandy. I'm gonna put. I was trying to get graphics together, but I didn't feel like it. Hold on. Let me share my screen. So, top corner. Hold on. So Shandy, we're gonna go to her right now. Shandy was the, very, very, very petite white woman, long, she worked at Walgreens, child. Shandy. Did she win her season? I can't remember that, but that's Shandy back in the day. I'm saying that's Shandy back in the day. That's Shandy back then. Yeah, Shandy was child. I thought a whole sandwich. She needed a sandwich. Somebody get us some milk, okay? But that's Shandy now. Just 15, how many years later, and whatnot. So yeah, so for Danny, I'm gonna wrap Danny up. Danny, to me, is pissed at Tyra because she feel like Tyra did not help me as much as she could have. And my opinion on that is, she has every right to her feelings. She has every right to how she feels. I just also feel like, can we expect Tyra to personally help every winner or loser? Because some girls who were, eliminated, before, who didn't win, felt like, well, I can't even use the pictures because it's too much. I'm thinking I can say, well, I was on the show, and they could not book shows based on that, and then felt like, well, I was also, eliminated, and then no one helped me after. I was like, why? And this is, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm being logical. I am being logical. Logically, I don't know why anyone expected Tyra and them to help them past the point of the show. We booked you on here. You aired the season, and then be free. Go, you know what I'm saying? When I heard someone on a part of it said, when they asked one girl, after you were eliminated, did Tyra call you and say? And she said no. And I said, why would they? Why would anyone from the show try to then help? You know how many people they would have to help? When you get fired or you quit your job, your boss is not calling to help you, not much, not really. I said every man in Simon Kyle probably also did not call, not their person after they left the competition. But again, my only issue is how much people are holding Tyra accountable for stuff that she had no control over. Okay. The fashion world then was horrible. It's horrible now. It's a little less horrible. It's horrible now. Case in point, I'm gonna give a good example. These girls were put on nationally syndicated show with exposure and whatnot to hopefully help them do whatever. And again, this is before social media, before going viral. This is before all that shit. Now, if you're on this bitch, the laundry girl, I don't have any idea what the laundry girl does. She's a beautiful dark skinned woman. I don't know what show she was on or nothing. I see her everywhere. In 2026, 25, currently, if you are on a show or whatever, you're able to push yourself to the masses if you do the work. But even sometimes that don't help. Okay. YouTubers, you can go on somebody else's channel and be seen by 10,000 more people. That does not mean you are now about to go viral and become a big star. Now, sometimes you can be seen somewhere and it makes you go viral, but there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes being put on a huge platform gives you a itty bitty amount of siege, and that's it. But you have to keep working at whatever you do and do what works for you. To me, I feel some of the people from the show felt like the show producers and Tyra should have been the ones pushing their careers further. And that didn't happen. And it's unfortunate. And some of the critiques, some of the challenges, some of the all of that shit was crazy. My only point is Tyra was not the only culprit responsible for that shit. Let's look at Kenya. Kenya was on maybe cycle 2 or 3 that she was on. And they were in, I think, Africa. There was a photo shoot, and I remember watching it in real time. Kenya, during the season, had gained maybe 5 to 10 pounds. But she was already skinny. She just wasn't model skinny. So that was one thing that was in her head. But at the photo shoot, let's see, Kenya, America's Next Top Model photo shoot. I just wonder if I can find the one of her and that man, child. Boom. Boom. Kenya. That's a horrible picture of it, though. Wait, I want to find it for y'all. They were around there. And this shot here. During filming of this show, you saw the filming and the guy, the black guy who touched her thighs. He was flirting inappropriately because she, didn't want no parts of it, but he was absolutely flirting with her. And because she did not say no, no, thank you, leave me alone, and I'm going to ignore you, because she, as we do as women sometimes when we are uncomfortable, we try to jokingly, ha 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 ha, you know what I'm saying? We don't say no, leave me alone. We try to de-escalate to not get harassed more. And during the picture taking, they're dancing or whatever. And he's kind of, slowly, just lightly rubbing her leg, child. And she said he was also like moaning in her ear, which made her uncomfortable. Now, she said on the set, okay, hold on, you guys, 1 second. I feel uncomfortable. And she told Miss J, hold on. Okay, Miss J up top, blind highlight up top, was on set that day. When she told him, I feel uncomfortable. I hear moaning in my ear and I am uncomfortable. Now, for what they aired to us, did she say he is making me uncomfortable with these inappropriate touching or whatever? She didn't say that. But sometimes we don't know how to fully explain what's going on. All we know is I don't feel comfortable, bitch. Now, in my opinion, Miss J, who was there, should have absolutely listened and said, you know what, guys, do not touch her. There should be no moaning going on. Let's keep things professional. What he did say was, well, this is sad. You know what I'm saying? He kind of dismissed how she felt and did not fully make sure she felt okay. So my thing was, why Miss J asked, oh, shut up, nigga. You didn't help Kenya that day. So when they then still tried to blame Tyra, and Tyra said, but I wasn't even there. I'm not even in production. I was only told how she said what happened or whatever. And I told her, cool, when you're on set and you have these situations, use your feminine wow to be aggressively and say, hey, leave me the fuck alone. I'm gonna knock your head off. So that way you don't get out of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? You back them up by being stern. And I know, I remember in real time, people discuss this situation. They didn't like it because she said I didn't feel comfortable. And Miss J kind of dismissed it. Nigel kind of dismissed it. And Tyra gave advice on, if it happens again, maybe do this. Again, we're not talking about 2026, bitch, I'll knock your head off type of reactions. Back then, you did. And when Nigel said, in the modeling world, you have a lot of inappropriate touching from men and women. He said that, and we've heard that over the years. But my issue with this was Miss J was on that set with her, and she told him, and he didn't do shit. That she felt uncomfortable, and so she said at the judge at the panel, yeah, the reason I didn't eat my face, yeah, because I felt in terms of, okay, so that happens again. This is what you do. This is what you do if you feel uncomfortable. You hawk their ass at the border, bitch. Get back. So her issue was they made it seem as if I was fat. I was eating all this food. I was uncomfortable on this man. No one did anything. So again, she had valid complaints against what happened with her. Okay. Now I want to move on to now Carrie D, who had her teeth done, bitch, when she said they were, pulled she had like an overbite, an extra tooth. Her teeth were fucked up to be a model. Okay. And so when she said, because I never felt like my teeth would ever be fixed, I was happy that they came trying to give me new teeth. But when she also said that after the show, they really only gave her cosmetic stuff. It really did not fix any actual dental stuff that she needed. And after the show, like a few years later, she needed much more. Oh, is her name Joni? What I call her? Oh no, Carrie D. That was Carrie D. Won a different season. You're right. You're right, Joni. Just right, wrong name. But she was one had the best of teeth, and she said, this is the thing. We can't blame Tyra now for her mouth. Okay, she came there with fucked up teeth. Her parents did that. Her parents knew her teeth were fucked up. Okay, and they did not get her the proper dental work, so they kind of quickly on the show said, "Hey, we can pull the extra teeth out, and it'll look pretty because you're a model." Okay. And when she said I was 18, I had to get it all done in one day. I had to sign a waiver. Again, that was pressure. But they wanted to do this show, And I'm like, girl. Now for Dion, who's in the red at the bottom, she was in the photo shoot of the Dead Models, and she played a woman who was popped in the head with a bullet. Okay, popped in the head with a bullet. And she said, I feel like they played because her mama was shot by an ex and was like paralyzed. And she said, I felt like they played with me because they wanted me to show some kind of, emotion based on my mom being shot and now I'm playing a, shot in the head person or whatever. And so, okay, cool. Okay. Now, she wasn't that upset, but she still felt like they played with me. Now, Ebony up top with the beautiful mane, okay, was on season 2. And when she said, Tyra called me during the season. What was it, season 1? It may have been season 1. Tyra called me and said they're complaining because they're saying that I come to set ashy. Now, I remember her season, she was always greased and oiled up. I mean, from top to bottom, bitch. And now we know because they told her, hey, stop being ashy. Now, I feel Black people, okay? I hate lotion. Unless I'm going out in public and my legs be out, I'm not, because lotion, I have sensitive skin. So I will cover my knees up and not care about no lotion. But I don't get ashy easily or whatever. If you have dry skin and you're a model, I do feel like maybe not be ashy a little bit. But it makes sense now knowing that's why she always looks so moisturized. But then seeing the girls talk shit. She's so greasy. She took the doorknob be having grease on it, and oh my god, it was the girls who were being insensitive and a bit racist towards her based on her just trying to keep herself moisturized. Because the Caucasian woman didn't have to worry about the ash. So to me, that was the show showing the drama and the meanness of the girls. But in model world, some of them bitches is mean. So Ebony point was, they played with me, yeah. When I got my hair cut, the stylist or whatever was making jokes. They cut a ball out of my head. It was all in they didn't have the right clippers. It was all just harshly not done in the best way. And we've heard for years about in the modeling world, this Black women within modeling world acting, all that shit. How you're on these sets. There's not makeup artists who knows how to do black skin. They're not hairstylists who know how to, handle black hair. And a lot of that's my girl, Naomi Campbell, bald, no edges. Okay. Because so many people did not know how to do a black woman's hair. When Regine Kim Fields said the reason she had Regine wear a wig, because she said, I was not about to have anyone doing my hair every day. I'm the wigs. Okay. I'm the wigs. And you have to get people that know all types of hair. And season 1, I'm gonna say season 1 and season 2, I don't think they had the money to do some of that shit. They was bare minimum budget. Okay, bare minimum budget ever. But again, that was all a part of the bullshit. Now I want to get to Shandy. Shandy, who was on those with the blonde hair, black glasses. I remember that season. I remember how thin she looked. I remember the Milan episode where they had the go-sees and the men were invited back, with the guys, okay, were invited back to the girls' hotels for them to like hang out or whatever. And them all getting drunk, them all getting in the hot tubs, and all this shit. Now, I want to say this. Shandy's experience is traumatic. And a lot of times in real time, sometimes we don't even know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I remember the episode, and from a production standpoint and from what the cast said, it came off like they were partying, having a good time, drinking. And it seemed as if she got drunk, fucked old boy, and the moment she sobered up, she regretted it. Like not that next morning, bitch. I mean that night. Because they showed her crying to the girls that night. And they never talked about it in a way. I don't recall at the time Shandy speaking about it in a way that she felt victimized in that moment. And the reason I think this is a great conversation because in the moment of you doing things, sometimes you don't even comprehend what's going on. And I'm saying that in her defense, but also in defense of production and oh boy. I don't think at all that production knew or felt like she was too inebriated to consent to what was going on. I don't think they would ever put that shit on the television because they'll be held liable for that. So I don't feel like production said, "Oh, y'all, yeah, she's back out front. We're gonna let her get victimized, record it, and then edit it and air it later." I think at that point in time, it was a thing to where we are making a reality TV show and we are only recording what is transpiring. We're not getting involved because it wasn't as if it was a fight. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as if at any point she seemingly was like, "Nah, I'm good." He said, "No, give it to me." They framed it in a way that back then they just thought everybody around here having a good time, and she went and fucked old boy in the shower. And when Miss J said, back then the girls were being filmed, we were off, like production was off, and we got like whatever call or whatever it was that said Shandy is in the bathroom fucking old boy. And he said the girls knew if anyone went in the bathroom alone, the camera did not follow you in the bathrooms. If you went in the bathroom with someone, they would record it. And I don't think she even I don't think she could comprehend or articulate what happened then. I think the reason she's able to say it now is because she's had time to process it. Because she's mainly accusing that guy of raping her. And production for recording it and playing it on the show. And when one of the producers said how, before the show aired, that was the right, around the Justin Timberlake Jackson nipple thing. And so they had to, cut down and edit stuff or whatever. And when Tyra and them said they never showed everything, like we only get, we get bits and pieces. And when they were insinuating, there was much more to that night that they could not show. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for production or for Shandy. Are you trying to say there was more that showed Shandy coherent and you cut it out? Or are you saying there's more that makes her more of a victim that y'all cut out? I'm like, what does it mean y'all cut out a lot that we didn't see? I was like, what the fuck? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So it is a very unfortunate situation to have to watch, because Shandy said that she never watched the episode. But when she went on the Tyra Banks talk show, Tyra played it, but she still didn't look. And I saw Tyra say how unfortunate it was. But the fact that Shandy felt like no one stepped in to say, "Hey, y'all, you're drinking too much. Okay, guys, you're doing too much." She felt like no one stepped in to help me. And that's her true feeling about what she went through. And no one can negate how she felt. On the other side of that, but did production realize it? I always say hindsight is fully 2020. And two things can be true at the same time. That she needed help. Because let's not forget, not only did production not step in, none of the girls did either. Shady wasn't there alone. There were 4 other girls there who clearly saw her. You know what I'm saying? It's like my thing with it too is it wasn't just production who was there at that incident. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say you have to be careful who you get drunk around. Because not everyone is going to try to help and protect you in those moments. Case in point, when my 30th birthday at the club, and at that point in time, I was single. However, me and the bad guy was still close. And he was there, child. And AJ, who I had known for years as well, but I had not seen AJ in a while. AJ happened to be at the club as well. And I was drunk that night, y'all. But AJ, hey, what up? What you saying? We connected, and I don't remember. I have vague flashes of memory of me being helped down the stairs, me getting to my car. And I remember AJ like showing up to my car. I wasn't driving, y'all. Someone was driving me. And I was saying, no, I remember saying, I'll leave with him. And the bad guy was like, no. And I have these flashes of conversations between the bad guy and AJ. And the following day, I did not remember how I got home, where my car was at. I woke up and I felt like I could not walk. I was that drunk the night before, 30th birthday. And when I talked to the bad guy later on, his brother drove me home. And he was like, the bad guy was like, you were drunk as fuck. And I'm like, was I? He was like, you were trying to leave with some dude. And I said, hell, no, what guy? I did not fully remember bumping into AJ. But the bad guy was like, I was not going to allow you to leave drunk with some nigga. Well, I don't know. Even if you, because I knew him. I think Rain was there. I think Karla was there. So other folks knew who AJ was. But the bad guy was like, I refused to let you leave when I saw how. So again, even you have to be drunk around the right people. You have to be able to, if you get shit faced, you have folks with you who is not going to allow you to fuck some dude, even if you want to, because you're too drunk to really consent to whatever's going on. So Shady wasn't protected by production, but also by her fellow cast girls, the other girls. Shady was getting drunk in the jacuzzi. What there was, girl. So I'm like, a whole lot of things went wrong in the Shady situation. Period. So overall, with the girls, each girl who from here had their thoughts and feelings about things. I think Shandy and Danny and Kenya had the most emotional things based on Shandy feeling like she was not protected with the drunken sexual situation with the dude in Milan. Danny feeling like maybe close my gap. Tyra didn't help when she could have. I felt, whatever. Kenya and feeling that the guy was touching her too much and she was uncomfortable and no one addressed it. So, each of them had their own issues with the show. However, Whitney felt like, hey, without Tyra, no one would know who I was. Some other and that may be why some girls did not want to come on and talk. I think, or they may just want to move past it. They may want to move past what they went through. I feel horrible that Shandy to this day, feels like everyone saw her in such a vulnerable moment. And she now feels like that was painted as if, oh, I got drunk and cheated and not, I was too drunk to even really realize what was going on. When she said, I was drunk, I felt him on top of me, and I knew sex was happening. You know what I'm saying? So even her having to have that realization of what happened is extremely traumatizing. And her probably have to relive it and have this conversation is probably even worse because it brings up all those bad memories. And there are so many moments in our lives as women where we may not even recognize we were victimized. Be it you were too drunk, be it it's your boyfriend and you said no, he didn't listen, be it, unwanted touching, and you don't realize, oh, I was violated. And Shandy, didn't come to, I don't know if she didn't come to realize it or if she didn't come to vocalize it later. Either way it goes, her story now is I was blacked out drunk. And, that's horrific to even have to realize. But again, I want to point out there were 3 or 4 girls there in the hotel with her who saw how much she was drinking, who had to have noticed how drunk she was, and they did not step in to help. They didn't say, okay, guys, hey, y'all should go. Y'all should leave. I seen a few people try to say that she did not seem blacked out drunk. I've seen comments saying, well, when she, that same night, she was clear on what happened. I've seen different scenarios of people feeling different ways, and I'm like, it doesn't matter because this is how she feels. Because now in 20, like there's no point her like if anything she could have said that back then because her boyfriend was pissed. He cussed her out on the phone and whatnot, and the one thing I'll say in defense of production is them recording it all. It's a TV show. I can't say they should have put the camera. It's a TV show. They were filming a fucking TV show. You know what I'm saying? So, child. You know what I'm saying? However, I feel horrible that no one in that environment thought to say, "Is you okay? You want to fuck him?" Like no one asked that question. We just seen her, drinking, and again, you also child sometimes slow down on the drinking because we never want to put ourselves in positions where we can't consent and there's no one there to help us. And I'm like, and she's so thin, child. You can't. The drink probably was more potent to her, and so she probably felt like someone will protect me, and no one did. That's fucked up. Now, lastly, the peoples. Hold on, Tyra and them. Again, Ken. I blame Ken. Okay. Um, Tyra looked horrible in this documentary, mainly not because she said too much, she just said enough. I don't know who the fuck edited this documentary. I don't know if Tyra chose to not be vocal. Tyra was too quiet. Tyra did not say enough, which made her look horrible. And the time she would say something, even her conversation around the Shandy situation, I felt like it wasn't. Tyra wasn't there, so there's that. But I think once you're editing things, y'all didn't want to leave that out. Like y'all didn't want, you know what I'm saying? Them even showing how they then had Tyra come to the girls the following day to discuss cheating, because then Shandy was saying, I can't believe I cheated. So there was that. I don't think the narrative of cheating came from Tyra. I think that narrative came from how Shandy, in the moment, said what had happened. I think Shandy saying, I cheated on you, I think they ran with that because she said it. But Tyra's responses in this documentary were just, she didn't defend herself, but she also didn't own enough of what happened. I think the most she said was, back then, the intent in the beginning was She kept speaking from the mind frame of 2002. She kept speaking from, my initial thought process was this in 2002. I'm not on production on this. I don't, you know what I'm saying? She kept walking around the questions. And I'm like, it just did not make her look good at all. But I also still don't blame Tyra. I don't. In the aspect of, she is this evil, vile, slick, snaky, deceitful, devious devil who fucked over everyone for this show. I don't think that's what it is. I think Tyra made decisions based on what she thought was good. And now, 25, however many years later, no. Tyra, no. You know what I'm saying? I wish she would have been more expressive. I wish she would have been more direct. But I also think Tyra probably answered questions in a way so no one could sue her. Okay. Miss J, Mr. J, and Nigel. Miss J, Mr. J, blind highlights, was like, we were friends, talk all the time. And then after a while, once the show became about the drama of the show and not much about the modeling anymore, he was going to leave after season 8. He sent Tyra a text, and she responded maybe 3 days later and said she was disappointed. And after that, their friendship was never the same. What I can't stand about Jay is Jay spoke, and this is Mr. J. Jay spoke this entire time as if he was a victim who had no hands in none of the bullshit when he was an active participant in all of the shenanigans. He is trying to make Tyra the villain in his story when he was a willing participant in the fuckery. That aggravates me. As much as Tyra, deflected away from full-on responses, Jay absolutely made it seem as if, well, it wasn't me, Tyler, it was them. It wasn't me, it was them. It was Tyra Child. It wasn't me. When he brought up how toward the end of his role on the show, that after a girl was eliminated, there was some time pick a different picture to use to critique on the show to make her being at home more plausible. I'm like, bitch, not you ruining the illusion. How he would say, they would come to me and say, hey, we don't want so and so and so and so to go home too fast. Please get a good picture of them because we need them around a little bit longer. And I still feel like when he said I was going to go, when he said I told them I wanted to leave after season 8, they asked me to come do season 9 and then fired me. Why are you upset? If you were quitting after 8, you did one more season, which is season 9. How did they fuck you over if you planned on quitting anyway? So making it seem as if Tyra sold you out for the show, to me, didn't make no fucking sense. Because you told them you wanted to quit after season 8, and they asked you to do one more season. So you being fired after that should not matter. If you watch the show, Mr. J was a mean little child. He had mean shit being said to the girls. He had snarky responses. He was just as bad. But he wants us to feel as if, yeah, she played me because they fired me and I was, bitch, you was going to leave anyway. So I was like, what you want us to do? Okay. Now, Miss J, okay, the legendary walker of them all. You know what I'm saying? Him saying, when they got rid of, both Jays and Nigel, how he felt away. I get it. But when Tyra said, and when Ken said, the powers above us told us, bitch, all y'all replaceable. Get rid of any, mini, mighty, and mo. And they did it. I'm not surprised. It's a cutthroat. Bitch, when a white lady in the middle was like, yeah, it was a great show, high, ratings or whatever. We need the drama and the shit. They didn't care. They didn't care. I don't know their white lady name, but I'm like, we not gonna act like they were not showing it. When they said for season 1, the guy over UPN was like, you can have one black girl. We don't want it to be any more diverse at all. And Tyra had to cuss his ass out to add one more Latina. Okay. Then they added the girl at the bottom with the black dress on next to Kenya. I'm like, when they told y'all from season 1, they had to force them to allow them to add someone of, Mexican descent. That show y'all they had to play the game. What made y'all think Tyra was a true runner of that goddamn show? She wasn't. Tyra was a fucking figurehead who had power. Do not get me wrong, but trust and believe. Once them fucking executives saw how much money that show made, UPN was going down the drain before that show. That's why now some of y'all don't even know what UPN is. What show? Let me see UPN. What shows was on UPN, child? Hold on. What shows are on UPN? Half and half. Wait, let me close this off. Half and half, one-on-one, all of us in the house. The Eve, Parker's, girl again, UPN, girl, legs, the Hugleys. Between brothers. I forgot about that show. Okay. That show before Top Model, that network wasn't shit. Yeah. The Wild Wild West. And they was like, we need the show to make us add revenue. There's a reason they were showing them girls. If you remember the show, the models themselves and the confessionals were horrible people. We hated some of them girls. Okay? The show was about the models. Yes, urban chaos. So I'm like, I don't know why y'all think Tyra was the man behind the curtain. No, the white people was. Now, Tyra allowed them to use her show to be that. But back then, no one was complaining about the show. We all loved the show. Now, again, when the show with Ken happened, we didn't. There were certain points of stuff we didn't like over the seasons. There were certain shows or episodes with, girl, why they do that? You know, that was that. But everyone was watching the show every week when it came on. When your person didn't win, when Eva and Yaya was head to head, bitch, and Eva the Diva, not Eva Marcel, Eva Pickford. Okay, Eva Pickford. That's who won Top Model. Okay. I just need to America's Next Summer winners. Let's see. Adrian won season 1. Joanna won season 2. Eva won season 3. Is it Naomi? Leah, I don't know. A girl won season 4. Okay, Nicole season 5. Danny season 6. Carrie D won season 7. Bitch, where? Share my screen. Where is girl? Wait, hold on. Okay, here are the winners. Here are the winners today. Okay, can y'all see that? Let me make sure I can see it. Again, let's start from the bottom. Adrian season 1, Joanna, Eva. What is it? Was it Naima? Who won 4? Nicole. When the season child, and don't let it be between a black girl and a white girl. Oh, when it was between a black girl and it was between a black girl and a white girl, oh, we be pissed. Can't we as upset if the black girl didn't win, child? Okay. Danny won 6, Cardi D won 7. Jocelyn, where is she at, child? Where is she? Where is she? She was. Well, I think she was Latina. Bitty bitty bum bum. I don't know. Sal. Wait a minute. Ain't she an actress? Hold on, girl. Ain't she an actress, child? But hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Season 9 winner, Sal Stowers, bitch, she played on Sisters, and I couldn't girl, I did not know that was her. Bitch, no idea, girl. I didn't remember. Okay. Whitney won 10. I think she was the only plus size model ever win. McKay Sullivan, I don't know her. Tiana Anderson, Nicole Fox, Krista White, Anna Ward, Brittany, Lisa D'Amato. Where the fuck she at? Okay. Now I feel like I maybe around season 17 I fully stopped watching on a regular basis. Keith was the first black man who won 21. I think Niall wasn't he deaf or whatever. But again, y'all, we don't know most of these people. We know Eva. Okay. To me, Eva, Yaya, Takara. Now that I know, Big Sal. Cause she had a really cute like mushroom bob. I love her little bob on that damn show, child. But I did not know that was her from Top Model. Then, bitch, Winnie Harlow, who did not win, but is a model now. Yeah, it was Eva and Yaya as the final two. But again, I think people don't even realize most of the people we know from that show didn't win. Eva, I think, maybe the only winner who everyone remembers from that show. She's still known from winning the show. But still went on to model, to act, and all that stuff, Yeah, and they were all on the same season. Eva, Takara, Yaya was on the same season. I remember the lady who was maybe 26 at the time, beautiful black woman. I can't think what her name was. And they thought she was old because she was maybe 26, 27 at the time or whatever. Girl, child, she was on live every day. Really? Eva put in the work. I think that's the thing. I think Eva, because again, Eva won what they say season 3. It Eva won season 3 of the show. When was season 3? I don't know what year that was. Eva winning season 3 hit the ground running. I also think by season 3, that's because the season 1 aired in 2003. Eva, let me see, well, Choppy gets Google and shit. Let me read the next Top Model season 3. Season 3 aired in 2004. So that was around the time, child. Social media was around here. You know what I'm saying? That was a very black season. It was a lot of things about Eva being the little ghetto girl with an attitude child. But Eva, I think Eva didn't only do I think Eva did everything, Milan, at all that shit. Okay. And Eva was an action. Eva had a swag about herself. I think some of the other winners didn't have what Eva has. And so I think Eva just kept that same spirit and kept it pushing, okay? But the fact that I forgot that Whitney Harlow was even on that show, but she's a great model. Again, some people model was better off after the show, and some who won ain't get shit, i.e., child Danny. Danny won her season, and her issue was, yeah, bitch, I won, but I didn't. Nothing panned out for me. Period. And so I think, because what year did she want to see? Danny won season 6. So let's see. Season 6. Hold on. Season 6. That was bitch 2006. So Danny, who won after Eva, still did not get the push or didn't get as far as Eva did, and whatnot. Yeah, Eva was on House of Pain. Eva was the baby. What's that? Tracy? I think it was Tracy. And she kept it pushing. But that's my point. In some of these girls who are upset at Tyra, it's like, but how much work did you put in after winning or losing? Did you expect them to make you famous? Again, Danny said that she talked to Tyra later on, and she said, "Oh, I could have helped, and I wrote a defense on you." Is that my question will be to this to Tyra? Hey, Tyra, let me interview Tyra. I would say, Tyra, how many girls from season 1 to season 24 did you personally help after the show? If she says no one, I can't be pissed, because she gave that same energy to everyone. If Tyra only did whatever she could do during filming, during promotion of that season, and if after the season fully aired and all that shit, if she was like, okay, my hands off for everyone, that's fair. Now, if Tyra helped certain people, who you help? Okay. Did you help certain people? Who? And in what ways? I want to know. Because if she helped no one, who can be upset? She didn't help none of y'all hoes. Thank you, David Cole. Go to Super Chat. Self-news story. This girl was on Thread talking about how the Clark Atlanta campus was when either one. Then she said, and nobody called that lady Giovanna. Her name was Gail. Giovanna Clark, and girl, child, that damn Giovanna. I was that big. You was a girl. That is fucking hilarious. That God damn it, even call. The cash was not that big. It probably depended on the management. Girls has two, some probably had better management. Yes. And even the way people looked at the show, the first season versus how folks look at season, 5 or 6, it could be different. It also could be how the girls were on the show. Some people won and people didn't like they won. Some folks lost and some folks preferred them because, they should have won. We didn't hear from Yaya for a while, and then she was in some nice shows and movies she played when Houston had a lead role. And like, yeah, Yaya became an actress in a lot of shits. But you make it what you can make it. I always tell people like this: when you get a chance to be on whatever national stage you want to be on, you have to take it around with it as much as you can, if that's what you want to do. But again, the first 2, 3, 4 seasons of that show, no one knew what it was. It was a brand new type of show. So it took time for them to, one, be taken serious. Two, the first couple seasons, again, it was Walmart employees who they made models. And that's gonna sound mean. They took random girls from malls, Walmarts, Walgreens, the Quickie Marts, who were tall and thin and pretty or whatever, and gave them a makeover and gave them some heels. And some of the winners weren't really models. Some of them girls who won were not models. They wanted to be models because modeling is so glamorous. I'm pretty. I can be it. So some winners won because they took good pictures, but that did not make them a model in the real world. And I think that's why some girls who did not win modeled. And some girls who did win did not. You can't blame anyone that you work with and say, you didn't make me successful. You told me I could be a supermodel. And then when I won, nothing happened. Let's look up. Let me see. American Idol winners. I just feel like, first of all, the fact that it is there, it has been 23 seasons of Idol. And I don't know, not Nan, bitch. You don't know now? Okay. Just for clarity purposes, you can be on a top reality game show thing and win, and no one know who you are. You do not become a celebrity. Kelly Clarkson is an exception to the rule. We know Ruben, okay, because he was the first black ass big man on the television. Okay, Fantasia was a 1 in a billion person. Okay, he was made for this shit. Carrie Underwood. Okay, Taylor Hitch, the old young man. Okay, he was 25 with gray hair. Okay, we know of him, but is he famous? Okay, Jordan Sparks, we know of her. We love Jordan. David Cook, Chris Allen. Who was Lee D. Wise? Okay, is Scotty McCreery still famous? Okay, who got his album? Okay, Philip Phillips. Who was he? Okay, Candace Glover, Caleb Johnson, Nick Frediniani, I don't know. Trent Harmon, Maddie Poop, the Poopy or Popey, I don't know. Lane Hardy, Just Sam, okay, Chase Beckham. Girl, who the fuck are these people? Who are these people? Hoppo, who they want me? I don't fucking know. Okay, we know Kelly, Ruben, Fantasia. We know Jordan. We know Carrie Underwood. We know her. Past Jordan Sparks on the winner list. Who is any of these people? Who? Who? So when folks be like, I was on America Next Time Model and they didn't make me famous, bitch, talk to Maddie Poopy. Okay? Danny, go talk to Lane Hardy. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. You can be on a full bitch. Let me not Google goddamn star search. Could then somebody be girl time eventually? Who was that? So when anyone, and now this is strictly about the girls being upset that after they won their season or was on the show, the world did not open up to them. Bitch, me neither. I'm a whole YouTuber, but I'm not. The world don't know me. I'm a little fish in my little pond, and I'm fine with that. I gotta work. I gotta work in the morning. Okay, but again, you can't make it seem as if Tyra and them failed you. Bitch, it was Simon Cowell failed 20 people. Okay, who was Abby Carter? I don't know her. Not at all. Okay, hold on. The Voice, the Voice, the Voice winner. I don't know not now winner of the Voice. Okay, let's see. 26 seasons. 26 seasons of the Voice. I don't know no one who won the Voice, and it's on there. They're on season 27. Okay, Javier Colin, Jermaine Paul, Cassie D. Pope. Is it Tessie Ann Chin? Josh Kaufman, Craig Wayne. I don't trust no man with 3 names. Okay. Sawyer Fredericks, Jordan Smith, Allison Porter, Sundance Head. Now hold on. Who named their child Sundance and Head? Not Sundance Head. Who wants some Sundance Head? I mean, anyway. Chris Blue, Chloe Sundance Body, Brian Cartelli. Is it Malin Joman, Jake Hoot, Todd Tilgerman, Cam Anthony, girl named Tom. Who was girl named Tom? Bryce Leatherwood, Gina Miles, Asher Pavone, Sofrenio Vasquez the third. Bitch, we don't know none of them. Kalani was like, hold on. X Factor. Okay. I don't know no one from X Factor. Okay. Oh no, I know Leona Lewis. Mm-hmm. I've heard the Little Mix. I don't know them though. I don't know these people. So all I'm hold on. Let's not making a band. Hold on. Making the band. Child. I'm not gonna do that. Lord Jesus. All I'm saying is, ladies, and ladies, okay? Again, Tyra can't make y'all stars. No one can. No one can. We've seen that from TV shows that be on TV that get canceled. Actors who we love, musicians who we love, and can't book a show. Look at Latasha Scott can sing her ass off, ain't got not a lick of a single. Okay, it takes more. Okay, it takes more than you being put on a huge platform that will make you pop. No one can make it happen. No one. I could go and be on whatever big thing tomorrow. That doesn't mean on Wednesday, all of a sudden, everyone loves me. It doesn't go that way. It doesn't. I've seen YouTubers go on bigger YouTubers platforms, and it doesn't always equate to a ton more fans. It'd be a couple, bitch. Okay, you can control your elevation. You know, no, 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 Nene, where you at, girl? Hold on, girl.
So
Now, why am I in it?
and you could have did
Now,
it.
see how I get thrown in stuff?
I ain't got y'all. I hope they bring you back around here, girl. Oh, y'all better get her back in the thing, child. Okay. Child, look, I blame Rock Nation. I blame Beyonce. Okay, I blame Nicki Minaj, Tory Lanez, Cardi B. Okay, I blame Amazon. So all I'm saying is this. Next Top Model had very problematic things going on from the show. Tyra Banks was not the stop and start controlling person who we should blame. We should blame all them hoes, okay? Everybody. We blame Tyra, Jay, Ken, that white lady, Niles, Les Munez, okay, his ass too. Oh, and then Miss J said, child, that he had a stroke and can't. I said, you can't walk. When he said I taught folks how to walk and I can't walk. I said, oh Lord. Now, and he then said that he had this stroke, I think in 2022, I think it was. And he said he still has not seen Tyra, since the stroke happened and he can't walk. I'm going to say this. Before your legs stopped working from that unfortunate stroke, were you and Tyra talking? He did say, I think she reached out, text, telephone, okay? But he has not seen her in person. Again, child, look, if we used to be cool and we ain't talked in years, would I then go see an old friend who has whatever ailment? I would send well wishes. I might send flowers. But even I can't guarantee I'm going to go physically and see someone who I ain't been on good terms with for years. I don't wish them any harm. I wish them a speedy recovery. And I do hope they have some kind of conversation, because even when they asked Tyra if she wanted to speak on her and Jay, Mr. J, Blind Streaks, and she said no. She did not even want to discuss whatever happened between them. But she did say, to this day, I think Jay, and Niall think me and Ken fired them because we wanted to and not like we were told to by the higher ups. So, that's they shit to have. I don't care. Okay. Oh, no. Janice, hold on. Janice. I said it earlier. Janice is a old cradle faced a crone egg thigh. Janice was a horrible, horrible, horrible person. She was then. We talked cash shit about her in real time. I didn't have to wait until now to call that bitch a bitch. Okay. I hated Janice then. Janice was a coked out whore. Okay. In the words of what's that child, what's the man name, child? Billy Porter. Fuck her. Okay. It's been fuck Janet Jackson on my watch. It's been fuck that hoe. Okay. Is child look. We never ever had any good words for Janice. And not today. Bitch, see, y'all don't know. I watch the show in real time. Okay. I was 21 when it came out, and that was my bitch fuck you era. So yeah, we didn't like Janice. We dog walk that old cradle face bitch every time she talked stuff. When she kept coming to with child, because she loved being mean to the plus size girls who wasn't even plus size, bitch. You a size 8 hoe. How that fat? Oh, cracked out whore. We continually dragged Janice did not get any good press back then. Janice rarely did any interviews, whatever. Wasn't nobody fucking with Janice? Is she dead? Is she dead? Hold on, let me look it up. Janice Dixon, is she dead now? She's now 71. Oh, bitch. Janice was an insufferable troll. If anyone was mean spirited for on purpose, it was Janice. Okay? Janice. That's who y'all shouldn't like. Y'all want to blame Tyra. No, we didn't like Janice. Okay? Her face rotted because she was so evil. Okay? Janice aged like pickled prune juice. Okay? Like chicken left outside in the heat in piles of shit. That was Janice. She was never nice. Never. When she said, oh, someone who weighed maybe 130 pounds, and she said, oh, well, she should lose 100 pounds. Bitch, and Tyra, oh, but then she'll be 30 pounds. That'd be great. Bitch, what? See, y'all want to have that stuff for Tyra. You will never get me to dislike a black woman who was not purposefully. Shawnee O'Neal will always get smoked for me for how she was them girls. Evelyn Pussy Pat Lazada will always catch these hands. Okay, Shawnee is the definition of a bitch who was on a show and who was purposefully mean to other women for entertainment. Okay, y'all treat Tyra like fucking Shawnee. Shawnee would bring them girls on that fucking show for her, Evelyn, and punk ass Jen to bully. Royce, Tammy, Gloria said, "Not me, ho." So y'all want get that smoke to Janice, to Shawnee O'Neal, and whoever else worked at UPN back in the 2000s. Okay, that's who did y'all. Y'all will never get me to fully solely blame Tyra. Now I'm not saying she's innocent. Now I ain't saying that. She had a hand in it. But I would never jump on a Tyra hate train when I know for a fact other people had their hands in on the control button more than Tyra did. Anyway, y'all, I don't know how the fuck. How did we get to 2 hours? How did we do that? I mean, look. I know I talk too much. Y'all, that's all. That's all. Okay, look, nothing was going on today, and gossip news or whatever. So I said, girl, go ahead and talk about this. It was either this or cancel. So I'm happy y'all came around here to have this child. Hold on. Child, if that child looks favorable up, girl. Do one of Survivor. Do one of any of these white shows. Okay? Do that. Now, Tyra, girl, go sit down somewhere, and the next time you talk about this show, you need to be a little bit more honest, honey. Okay, a little bit more. Ask some more questions, baby. It's a little bit more. Okay, this did not make you look the best. However, I still do not feel like Tyra purposefully tried to bully, belittle, and hurt these girls. This is why people who don't know how to run a show should not run a show. Okay. Anyway, y'all like the video. Like it, share, subscribe, and all that good shit. I'm finna go to bed. If some stuff happens tomorrow, I'll be live at 9. Okay, but something has to happen, child. I don't know what's going on. I love you all. Again, don't you let no one convince you to get dental work, okay, on your mouth, to shave your hair bald for a contract. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, until tomorrow, I gotta go. Bye.